It's that time again, Retro Core time, Volume 7. And continuing on from Volume 6, we've got some more Sega Ages titles. First up we have the very lovely Columns Arcade Collection, featuring the original Columns, which is pretty much the same as the Mega Drive version, and Columns 2, which again is pretty much 16-bit-ish Mega Drive style. We've also got Columns Stack, which sort of has a bit of a Vegas theme going on, as you can see, and a little bit of a roleplay elements to it. But as far as the actual style of the game goes, it's pretty much the same as Columns 1 and Columns 2. As you can see, your jewels look pretty similar, and they come down with that little rectangular box surrounding them. As far as gameplay twists go, I don't think there are any. If there are, I certainly couldn't find them. But the main reason you'd buy this pack is for Columns 97, which you can see here. Now you can't actually see this on the video, but that title screen, it runs in a really lovely high resolution. Really does look nice. Now coming to us from the arcade. This Sega Saturn port is a 100% perfect rendition of the arcade machine. And as you can see, the jewels are really nice. They've actually improved them over the original Columns. Again, it's still the same basic game. Get 3 colours of the same jewel in a row and they disappear. And keeping with the arcade theme, here's Fantasy Zone. Now this game's got so many options you wouldn't know what to do with them all. Options such as changing the saturation levels of the colour. You've also got the American, well I should say Western version, and the Japanese version of the arcade original game. You've got different remix tunes in there. You've got a karaoke mode as well. Very nice. And what is good is Sega have actually included some demo plays, which you're going to see right now. This isn't actually me playing. And plus, if you want to show off your skills, you can record your own game. And for those who don't know, the main theme of Fantasy Zone is take out all the pods. And once you've taken out all the pods, on comes the big end of level boss guy. Don't forget to collect your money though, because you need the money to buy new weapons and upgrades from the shop. Unfortunately, they usually run out before the boss comes on. Now while this game does look extremely cute and quite childish, it's certainly one of the more strenuous shoot 'em ups out there. Okay, and here we go with 1 or 2 Sega Memorial selections. Basically, these selections or these packs feature 4 or 5 games from Sega's very early days. As you can see, very basic. This is Head On. And the idea of this game is just get around the course, collecting the dots without smacking into the red player. Which, as you can see, I didn't do. Very basic, but strangely addictive. Well, for 10 minutes maybe. Bollocks. One that you may know, this is Pengo. And the idea of this game is to squash the green blobs, which are kiwis or something, I don't know. Now, one thing I have noticed while playing these classic packs is the games are actually a lot harder than the stuff we have these days. Actually, I do like this one. This is Up and Down. For some reason I always thought Data East made this. The idea is to collect all the different coloured flags which you can see on the right hand side. But try not to jump off the road or land or crash into other cars. Sounds easy, but it's not that easy. Thankfully you can slow down and reverse. And one game every Sega gamer will know, this is Flicky. Why Sega keeps sticking this on every compilation, I don't know, because it's fucking annoying. Well, okay, maybe not. It was fun at first. So I guess the original Sega Memorial selection sold quite well, because this is the second pack, and they've actually beefed up the intro quite a bit. They've actually made an introduction for this one, featuring remakes of all the original graphics of the games which are on this compilation. And to be honest, this selection is a lot better than the last selection, I'll tell you that. Okay, here we are with the first game. This is Samurai, a very old game. I think it was 1979. Oh yes, it is actually. It says there on the top of the screen. And the idea is, as you can probably see, is to take out the samurais. Very basic stuff. Here we go with one of my favourite arcades of the time. Mind you, I was only about 5 or 6 when it came out. This is Monaco GP. It looks pretty basic to you guys these days, but when I was a kid, this was like the cutting edge. Whoa, lights! And a shooter which I absolutely hate. This is Starjacker. What an awful BGM. Basically, when you die, one of your ships which are trailing behind you disappears. A novel idea, but a bit unusual, to be honest. Here we go with Sinbad. Very simple maze game. The idea of the game is to kill the red guys. Hi, Doki Doki Penguin Land. You've probably seen this before in many different variations. The idea is to get your egg to the bottom of the map without the polar bears eating it, or without you cracking it open, without getting yourself attacked by the polar bears. And the best game on the pack, and I absolutely love this. It does look pretty good as well. And it's a bit like the old Commando games, but with a princess. Bloody rock hard, but it's actually quite a good game. Even now it's still quite nice. Arguably one of the best selection of Disney games from the 16-bit days. This is Quackshot and Castle of Illusion. Both originally on the Mega Drive, these Sega Saturn versions are pretty much spot on to the Mega Drive originals. Whether they're emulated or reprogrammed, who knows? I certainly don't. But they seem pretty much identical to the originals to me. Here we go with Quackshot. And the idea of this game was sort of... I can't remember what the idea was actually, I can't remember what the end goal was. But it did have quite a few RPG elements, so you'd have to play this level now. You get to the end, pull your airplane down, go to a different level, collect a certain item, then go back to this level and advance further into the level. If that makes any sense. And even now, when did this come out? 1989 maybe? Something like that, 1989, 1990? Probably earlier than 1990. But even now it still looks pretty good. And here we go with Castle of Illusion. This was actually one of my first Japanese Mega Drive games I ever bought. And that's because the box art was so much better than the shit we got in the UK. These days, this game is certainly showing its age. It doesn't look as colourful as it once did, and the animation is nowhere near as good as I remembered it being back in the day. But it's still actually quite enjoyable to play, and the later levels do look better. As you can see here, things are picking up. It does look quite nice. Now this actually won the more harder to find Sega Ages titles. So if you do ever find it, expect to pay, well, not a large sum of money for it, but it'll certainly cost you more than your average second-hand Sega Saturn game, put it that way. And here we go with one of two variety game packs, which were released on the Sega Ages label. This one's Puzzle and Action, better known as Rouka ni Ichidanntoa-ru or something. I can't really remember what it's called now. But it features two games. This being the first game, or the main game, as I'd like to put it. It's one of those variety games where you got loads and loads of different mini sub games, and basically you just got to complete the main sub game before the time runs out to move on to the next game. This is the oldest version of this type of game on the Sega Saturn. There are actually two others. Another one being part of the Sega Ages collection, which you will see later on, and a more recent modern game which was released as a standalone title. Quite like this game. This section here, you have to count how many people are on the train as they go past. And as you can see, I wasn't paying attention. Notice the Daytona music. And this is the other game on the pack. Basically, it's just a quiz game. And here we go with the other pack. This one's Shukudai ga Tantoa-Ru. Again, it just says Puzzle and Action in English. This is a Tantoa-Ru. What the hell is it? Tantoa-Ru. Some shit like that. Tantoa-Ru is probably the easiest way to say it. Like the other game, this is basically the same thing. Loads of mini games. Some of them are really good, some of them are a bit naff. But overall, it's a very good package. Look at this, you get a really, really complicated maze. Just look how easy it is to get out. Look at this. The only problem is the controls are really fiddly. As you can see, I'm having a bit of trouble getting down the little gap. You can imagine some idiot going all the way around that map trying to find a way out. Again, very simple, just bash the buttons, blow up the balloon and wake up the chicken. Very simple. And again, like the other puzzle and action pack, this game also features a quiz game. Now this game actually runs in a really nice high resolution, which is quite surprising considering the game's age. Like the other one, it's completely unplayable if you can't speak Japanese, but I think the only reason they stuck this game on the pack is because no one would probably buy it otherwise.